Thank you, Josh Street. Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for July 15th, 2020. Today we'll be watching Deep Space Nine Season 3, Episode 16, Profit Motive. And it was originally directed by Rene Auberjonois, aka Odo. That's interesting. I didn't realize Rene Auberjonois directed any episodes, but to be honest, it's only the second or third time I looked, so it's not a big sample set. And today's episode originally aired on February 20th, 1995. 1995. Which was not quite a full week from last episode, so I wonder what was up with that. I was going to check what day of the week it was, but I got too lazy. And I want to thank Josh Street for the $1 donation during the opening credits. Thank you. It was in there. I don't know if you heard me, but I did see it. Greatly appreciated. So the chat began early, as usual. 47 Yorktown was first and says, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" No, but now we are. John DeMarco says, "Today is a good day to DS9. Absolutely." Rock Solid says, "Happy Thursday. Why are we not doing open lines?" Well, because it's Wednesday, as Dan23 pointed out. Not Ryan Johnson says, "Hello in Qapla. Hello in Qapla." Not Ryan Johnson. John Street says, "We demand 24-hour DS9 marathon stream. First 12 hours hosted by Birdo Prey 5. And second 12 hours hosted by Not Ryan Johnson, Kronos, Rock Solid, and DJ Odyssey." That would be interesting. Maybe do the first 12 hours hosted by them, and then I'll do the second. Maybe. Not Ryan Johnson says, "I'm only good at lurking and making fun once in a while. I should pop on more streams, though." You should. Although it's very hard to get Kronos to pop up on a panel. It's hard to get Kronos to even show up at a stream. You never know. Not Ryan Johnson says, he demands. "I demand Bird do a stream without doing any accents." Well, I mean, it's possible. And then John DeMarco said he wouldn't count on it. 47 Yorktown says, "Not Ryan Johnson. How about doing a New York accent?" Well, I mean, technically, I guess I have a bit of a New York accent. Josh Street says, "Not Ryan Johnson. Bird not doing accents is like asking AOC not to act like an idiot." Not Ryan Johnson says, 47 Yorktown. "He hasn't managed to do a New York accent yet, lol." Okay, fine. I'm not insulted. Not Ryan Johnson says, "Josh Street, when you put it that way, lol." And I hard. John Street says, not Ryan Johnson does his New Jersey accent count. Okay, now that's just getting mean. I do not have a New Jersey accent. Not Ryan Johnson says, whenever Bird does an accent, it never sounds the same way twice. Absolutely. That's what you would be expecting. Josh Street says, speak of robot hell, New Jersey, Karogan resident, Birdo Prey 5, finally shows up to his own stream. That was 4 minutes early. And Josh Street says, start the doing early. And I did, Josh Street. I started it about 2 minutes early. And thank you for that super chat. And then Josh Street says, here's a bribe to start early. Well, you know what? I'd already started by the time I saw the bribe come through, but thank you. John DeMarco says, rule of acquisition number 36, DS9 streams are good for business. That would be a good rule of acquisition. I guess, Bed Life streams tend to bring in the biggest donations, but, it's not about the money. It's about the art. It's about DS9. Resolute Germ says, hello, everyone. Rock Solid says, don't start yet. I have to pee. Don't worry. You had plenty of time to pee before I started. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, you sell out. You had a CBS ad. I don't choose what ads there are. In fact, you really shouldn't have seen any ad before the stream started at all. I don't have those ads turned on. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Bird of Prey in chat. Qapla, Mike Richards. Dan23 says, I watch short tracks. Ask not, it was okay. I've seen worse ones like Q&A. I won't ask. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Birdo Prey, Momo Prey, Sisso Prey, Chico Prey, and fellow nerds. Qapla, Mountains of Elysium. And Josh Street says, we demand 24-hour DS9 marathon stream, first 12 hours hosted by Bird of Prey. You already said this. I already responded earlier. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings to Sassy, chaser of Andorians, eater of Pakled, stalker of Klingons, defiler of Vulcans, cloaking from Lori, and scourge of Cardassia. Aru! Star Trek Nitpickers is in the house. Qapla says, Bird of Prey, you know this DS9 companion with Alexander Siddig and Andrew Robinson. That's Dr. Bashir and Garrick. I'm not sure what he's linking to. Put in the link. The Sid City Social Club. I heard that they had a channel or something. So, yeah, okay, you guys should probably check out that channel at a later date. I actually have not yet subscribed. But you know what? Star Trek Nitpickers, I'm going to leave it open. And I will check it out after the show. Thank you. Mountains of Elysium says, hashtag Crocodile Dundee for Bird. Rock Solid says, okay, you can start now. Thank you, Rock Solid. Resolute Germ says, Bird of Prey, it was moved a day for sports. Ah, okay. That's why it was not a full week from the last episode. Brian McFarland says, Heidi ho, everyone. Heidi ho, Brian. And he says it twice. Heidi ho again, Brian. Mountains of Elysium says, confirmed Karoga Shore coming to you in autumn, starring Bird of Prey 5. If that's supposed to be like Jersey Shore, you'll be sorely disappointed. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, it's always been about the money. Yeah. Not really. Certainly not in the beginning. John DeMarco says, it's not about the money. Quark would scold you. Well, in this episode, Grand Nagus would agree with me for a while. Star Trek Nitpicker says, Nimoy worked hard to get rid of his Boston accent to get roles, but he felt like he was losing his identity a little. Oh man, could you imagine Spock with a Boston accent? That would be tough. All right, Dan Myers says, Qapla, Supreme Ruler, Qapla, Donald Myers. Qapla, Supreme Ruler, Qapla, Donald. Mountains Elysium says, hail Kuroga, hail Kuroga. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey. So it's worked for DJ Odyssey. Let's see if it works for me. How about if I get $500 in donations by August 15th? I'll do a 12-hour TOS live stream. Hey, you should. You should, guys. If you wanna make Rock Solid suffer because he supposedly hates the original series, give him $500. Although I would say, so he really suffers, make him watch Discovery. Because I don't care what he says. Watching the original series is not suffering. Josh says, Bird of Prey, so you're going to do the overnight part of the 24-hour stream. You're going to have a hard time staying up past 7 p.m. Well, no. They could start the stream at 7 p.m. and I can take over at 7 a.m. It doesn't have to be the overnight section. You adjust the start time. Not Ryan Johnson says, let's get this party started. Indeed. As always, the Bird of Prey 5 screening room. The address is at the top of the window, birdofprey5.com/SR. Lowercase. You can head over there and watch the episode with me on my screen like I'm watching it, like you're here with me. If you've got your own copy, then or Netflix or Hulu, or Amazon Video or CBS All Access or anything else that has it on, go get yourself set up to the beginning. We are using Season 3, Episode 16, Profit Motive. So, and it's spelled profit like the Bajoran prophets because it gives away half the episode. Josh Street says Rock Solid does 500 Kurogan rounds, 0.00005 cents count. It's up to Rock Solid, but that's not an accurate. That's not an accurate exchange rate. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, I see you and raise you. $500 equal TOS 12 hours. 1,000 equals disco 12 hours. Challenge accepted. And Rock Solid says, DJ, sorry if I came across. That's what it was, but you did raise X dollars. DJ was a certain furry outfit thing. Oh, DJ Odyssey is here. It says, Rock Solid, I didn't charge money for the 48-hour stream. That is true. That is true. He just had a goal. He charged money to wear outfits. DJ says outfits, yes, but during the live stream, I made a whopping $7. $7. And Dan23 says, I think anyone should watch Star Trek. I don't think anyone should watch Star Trek Discovery for 12 hours. That's probably a pretty fair assessment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, again, if you don't have your own copy and you can't watch in the screening room, and I should have set this up earlier, in the bottom right corner of the screen, you will see screenshots of the episode in that square box. Okay. So with that, I'm going to head to the screening room. Okay, I see. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey. So to clarify, $500 each for TOS and Disco. First $500 by August 15th equals TOS. If we get to 1,000, then I'll do a separate 12-hour disco stream. And DJ says, I do a live stream of me watching DS9 marathon for a disco marathon for $200. And Josh Reed says 12 hours of STD, you wouldn't get past the first 12 episodes of torture. Well, they're all about an hour long, so that would get you right to about the 12-hour mark. Well, I would caution you guys not to make promises you cannot keep. Josh Street Rock says there's only one way to find out. Oh, I think there's more than one way, but that's fine. That's fine. DJ can keep his promise. Okay. That's probably true. I'm more concerned with Rock Solid's promise. But okay, I'm going to count down. We're going to hit play. And count down from 5. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, go ahead. Let's make it happen. I can do 12 hours of STD easily. And Nitpicker says, how dare you talk about trash about TOS? I'm so mad I have to go take a bath or shoot holes in the street now. I'm not talking bad about TOS. There's someone amongst us, though, who doesn't like TOS. LDG Pixels is in the house. Welcome, LDG. I don't know. One of my friends is saying, now Trump is tweeting in Arabic. Okay, so somebody gave him some Arabic to tweet. I don't know why this is newsworthy. Okay, forget that. We're watching Deep Space Nine. I'm counting back from 5. 5. Pluggerville, Qapla, Pluggerville. Momo the Vengeful says, where is my wrench? Oh, Momo. I don't know, Momo. I don't know if Momo should get a wrench. Huh? Yeah, I should give Momo a wrench. Oh, Momo Frey doesn't think Momo should get a wrench. No, sorry, Momo. Sorry, Momo. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but I don't know if Momo should get a wrench. That's just bad precedent. Pluggerville says Qapla, Bird of Prey. Rock's House is Bird of Prey. Josh Street, STD would be easier to watch than TOS. Yeah, you see, this is upsetting. Dr. Scotty says Bird of Prey into humming, please. Intro humming, of course. Of course, we'll hum. I'll hum. Captain Trax says Bird of Prey, give Momo a wrench. He deserves it. Joseph Patrick is finally in the house. Says greetings from the future. Greetings, Joseph. LDG says, I am so drunk. Why have you been drinking, LDG? It's a little early to be drunk. Okay, everybody's calling for a wrench for Momo. Everybody wants Momo to have a wrench. Okay, Momo. There you go. You're wrenched, Momo. Joseph's skin is peeling. I'm not surprised, considering all the sun you got. Not Ryan Johnson says, you give Momo a wrench, it will drive Alexander more insane. No, it wasn't to upset Alexander. Now, Momo says, now I can put the shelves together. That's right. That's right, you can, Momo. Okay. Anyway, we're starting this now. No bird, don't do it. It will spell doom for Kuroga. Well, it's too late, Resolute. And Chemtrax says, my hero, Momo the Vengeful, has a wrench. Rockside says, I'd rather watch STD than the animated series. Okay, we're counting. I'm counting. Nothing's stopping this countdown. 5, 4. Oh shit! I have to mute it. Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play, and we get Quark's O face. He's saying you don't have to be quite so gentle. She's like, tell me again. Tell about the stem bolts. He's got 100 gross of self-sealing stem bolts in Cargo Bay 11. And they're all hers for only 10 bars of gold pressed latinum. Says, with those stem bolts are found to be a triple production of the reverse ratcheting something. She can't wait any longer. Why don't they go down to Cargo Bay 11 and sign the contract? He said, no need to rush. Our family ship won't be here for a week. They'll have plenty of time to finalize the deal. She's like, that's an unusual attitude for Ferengi. And he says, I'm a very unusual Ferengi. And the door knocked, and he said, that must be my Sororian brandy. And Rom says, forget the brandy. You must leave here immediately. And the female as well. So Quark's like, have you lost your mind, Rom? She's willing, she's wealthy, and she wants to buy our stem bolts. Rom's like, it's gotta wait. Something important came up. He's like, nothing's more important than this. And it's the Nagus. And he makes a hand gesture, and the girl leaves, and the Nagus has got his face in a cloak, and his servant is not looking happy. And he's like, what does he want with me? Rom says, it looks like he's moving in with you. Howdy, Michael Garrick. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Mm-hmm. Boo, 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 boo. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, do, 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 do. Josh reads his bird of prey. What's after DS9 Ent or Voy? We'll figure it out. Rock Solid says bird of prey may have carried many things over the years. A tune, however, is something he's never carried. And Dr. Bashir got called in, and he's like, what's this? Congratulations, doctor, they're saying. Says, well, somebody tell him what's going on. The Federation Medical Council has nominated for some award, and there's five nominations, and Dr. Bashir is the fifth and final nominee. Dr. Bashir, Chief Medical Officer of Star Deep Space Nine. He said, It must be a mistake. His name wasn't even up for consideration. And Dax says, oh, you were up. She submitted it herself. And Kira says something she would never say, that his work on something was groundbreaking. Says according to Dax anyway. She doesn't understand it. So O'Brien's like, how's it feel to be the youngest nomination in history? Says it feels good. He drinks the alcohol and he runs off. He says it feels good. He's not happy. So Dax wants him to say that he's thrilled beyond belief to be nominated. And he's like, well, I am honored. But I don't want to make a big deal out of it. Dax like, it is a big deal. We're all proud of you. But he just wants to assure him that he's not going to win. Dax says your work deserves to be recognized. Says, don't you understand that the average life expectancy of a Carrington Award winner is 5 years? 10 years at most? It's supposed to be a crowning award for a lifetime in medicine. This isn't something a young doctor's supposed to get. He's way too young to be a serious contender. He says, put his name up in 70 years and he'll be very excited. And he says, until then, he won't be giving it much thought. Dr. Scotty says, Bird of Prey, perfectly vocalized intro. Thank you, Dr. Scotty. At least somebody appreciates it. So Jadzia wants to know who he thinks is going to win. And he's like, he doesn't even want to be bothered. Oh my God, a cup of millipede juice. Hold the shells. These disgusting Ferengi. How are they even allowed on space stations? Quark is mad that his apartment's all messy because of the Nagus. What? It's Nog's quarter. It's Rom's quarters. He says keeping the quarters clean is Nog's job, but Nog is on the home world visiting Moogie. So Rom is like, well, then I guess the cleaning's gonna have to wait. And Quark is like, well, no, now you've got to clean it. And he's like, it's bad enough. Oh, he's not known tolerate living like some pack-led refuge merchant. That's racist. He's like, wait, this is his private stock. This whiskey's from his private stock. And now Quark is looking and he's looking around and he's noticing everything is from his private stock. This came from his stockroom. It's like, are you accusing my son of being a thief? It's like, no, I'm accusing you of being a thief. The table linens, the chair, the table, everything in there comes from his bar. And he takes out the ear thing. He's like, not everything. When Rom is done cleaning, Quark is going to take a complete inventory and find out exactly what he's stolen. He says, now here he's the boss. Do it yourself. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, the Ferengi are Kurogan, so they are your people. Rom says he stays up all night. He thinks. And he stays up all night thinking and mumbling. And Rom doesn't want to stay up and listen to his mumbling. And Quark is like, he's had enough. If the Nagus wants to stay on the station, he's going to have to find someplace else to live. So apparently Quark's quarters are directly across the hall from Rom. No one's seen the Nagus since they got here. He must be working on something very important. He said he's not going to disturb him. Rom is going to do it because Quark is on his good side. He can't risk getting on his bad side. But Rom, he doesn't even know. He barely even notices your existence. And the Nagus comes out very happy and says, Rom, what can I do for you, my boy? He's like, I was hoping somebody would come by. Come right in. And now Quark comes out. He said, Quark, I knew you'd be lurking around. I've got something very exciting. And his apartment's empty now. Quark said, what happened to my furniture? And the Nagus said, I got rid of it. It was getting in the way of my work. And Quark's like, what was your work, if I might ask? It's like, I'm glad you asked. The book. You're about to read the shining triumph of his life. The one thing he'll always be remembered for. And Quark says, may I? And he opens it. The rules of acquisition. Revised for the modern Ferengi. He rewrote the rules. He rewrote the rules of acquisition. Absorb and enjoy. And Quark's like, Rom, do you know what this means? He's like, yeah, it means we have to memorize a whole new set of rules. He said, no, we'll be the first Ferengi to benefit from Zek's wisdom. The knowledge contained in this book. Make them both rich. Beyond their wildest dreams. Rom will be able to go into business for himself. He's like, turn the page, turn the page. The first rule of acquisition is, if they want their money back, give it to them. Give it to them. What? Uh-oh. And Quark looks at his servant, and the servant is crying. Oh, he's crying. It's such touching. Zek is having mental problems. Will Wheaton is a Turtistani. Rule 22. Latinum tarnishes, but family is forever. Rule 23. Money can never replace dignity. Quark says skip to the end. He says he's not going to like it. Rule 285. A good deed is its own reward. Quark needs to sit. Take it away, take it away. He's like, we have to think. There's an explanation, a reason for why he's doing this. Rom says, maybe we should ask him. He's like, oh no, he's testing us. It's some kind of test. It's like the book. No, it's like, there's got to be a code in the book. It says, read the first word of every rule. There we go. If never, keep profit, good, smile. Honesty. If never keep profit, a good smile, honestly. What does it mean, says Rom? It means absolutely nothing. Maybe if we hold the pages up to the light. No. He's sniffing the book. He's tasting the book. He's running his tongue over the edges of the book. That's not it. The answer's going to be right in front of us. Resolute Germs is not cursing. Stop cursing like that, bird of prey. Those words are just wrong. Naram says maybe the Nagus has just gone insane. Quark says that's not possible. Josh reads his bird of prey. The poison Zek drunk in The Princess Bride made him lose his mind, just like Rock Solid Productions. Quark is like, Zek thinks 10, 20 steps ahead. He said these rules are probably some part in some vast plot to seize financial control of the entire quadrant. So Ram says, what do we do? Quark says we put down the book and we walk away. Now when Nagus feels ready, he'll inform us of his plans. But until then, they have to act like they know nothing. Ram says he can do that. DJ Odyssey says as much as Bird likes money, he should be Ferengi-centric 5. Then Nagus comes over and says, Quark, let's buy everyone a drink. Put it on my tab. And Quark says, why? He says, because that will make everybody happy. And that will make him happy. And Ram said, it's part of his plan. Wheels within wheels, brother. He lost his taste for beetle snuff. It might be fun for Quark and Nagus, but it's no fun for the Beatles. Oh, he met the most lovely young female. She wanted to tell her that the family ship has arrived with the Latinum. It's about time, Ram. Watch the bar. We're gonna get rid of those stem bolts. And the Nagus says, I don't think so. He says, but we had a contract. And the Nagus says, but it was never signed. And frankly, he was charging an outrageous price for those stem bolts. She said, he said she didn't seem to mind. And the Nagus says, well, it did once I explained it to her. I can't let you take advantage of an innocent young female. So he told her where she could get all the stem bolts she wants at wholesale. He told her where to get it at wholesale. What's he going to do with 100 gross of stem bolts? And this is my poor brother. The Nagus says, oh, don't worry about him. Eventually he'll sell them at a fair price. And Ram says, a fair price? The Nagus says it'll take some time to get used to the new ways. He says, walk with me, Ram. And the servant is drinking up. We got Miles and Bashir playing darts. They've already played 106 games of racquetball. And he's saying he's a bit rusty. And he said he guessed the smart money is on Wade or Petrel. And that dart, Bashir missed completely. So Dr. Wade's very popular, but Petrel is doing some amazing work. Bashir said either of them would be a worthy recipient. Brian says if it was his choice, the award would go to Bashir. He said, but let's face it, you don't stand a chance. He said, yeah, you don't say. Oh, Bashir says, I know you're talented. But I bet there's doctors all over the Federation saying, Julian Bashir, who the hell is he? And Bashir says, you're absolutely right. He's like, I'm glad you agree. Now the thing here, I don't know a hell of a lot about darts, but I do know that if you miss the board, you get to shoot again. Because it's considered a gentleman's game. If you miss completely, you get another shot. So Bashir and O'Brien missed several times and they lost their shots. So that is not how you play darts. Unless the rules of darks changed in the next couple hundred years, which I doubt. Anyway, Quark comes back to find, Rom has redone things, and it's the home of the Ferengi Benevolence Association, and he's the senior administrator. Johns reaches Bird of Prey. What season is it when Bashir, being a con, comes out? I think it's like season 5 or 6. It's a while. Roxanne says, I get another shot. Yes, Robin Hood. He gets another shot. He gets another shot. He's going to mold them into a new Ferengi. An evolved Ferengi. Says the answers. It's time for the Ferengi to move beyond greed. Quark says, no, there's nothing beyond greed. Says greed is the purest, most noble emotion. And he said, greed is dead. It's the 10th rule of acquisition. And Quark said, no, greed is eternal. He says, not anymore. Oh no, Quark's been named co-chairman of the association. His name is going to be prominent on all their correspondence. And Quark is very scared. They're going to both be there when Zek announces the new rules of acquisition on the steps of the Grand Marketplace. He said they'll probably be right along with him when they throw him from the spire of the Tower of Commerce. But that's the tallest building in the Ferengi Alliance. A fall from that height could. And he's like, exactly. Don't you see, Rom? There's something terribly wrong with the Nagus. We have to help him before he gets us all killed. That tickles. He said, for Ferengi your age, you're in excellent health. You should stop using that beetle snuff. He says, as a matter of fact, you already have. And Quark says, this mean you have to go in for some exploratory surgery? He said, to find out what's wrong with him. Bashir said, there's nothing wrong with him. He's done every test he could think of. There's no trauma, brain damage, mental illness. His endocrine system's in terrific shape. And he's like, they're both like a couple of nervous investors, always looking for trouble. He says, I suppose I should be flattered. Thank you, doctor. And Quark is like, no. You have to perform more tests. Bashir says, if you don't get out of here, Quark, I have to perform more tests. And he says, I'll perform more tests on you. Quark says, put him in stasis until you can figure out what's wrong with him. And Bashir says, I don't think so. And Quark says, and you're supposed to be one of the 5 best doctors in the Federation. If you ask me, you're a quack. No wonder you don't have a chance to win. Now the Nagus is trying to tip the doctor. He's like, I can't accept it. It's a bar. It's a gold bar. He's like, doctor says, I can't accept that. He's like, why not? It's just money. Just donate it to charity. And then Dr. Bashir took the money. So obviously he could accept it. And he's like, oh, tomorrow night he's going to give a gift to the Bajorans. But he's keeping it a surprise. He's got a full bar of gold pressed latinum. Not even a slip. A bar. And now Rom and Quark are trying to break into the personal shuttle. He says, oh, he's letting them in. He's letting them in. He can't talk to them, but he knows something's wrong. Oh, it's a Bajoran orb. That's what screwed up the Nagus. That's the gift he's going to give to the Bajorans. It's one of the missing Bajoran orbs. One of the orbs of the tears of the prophets. Or orb of the prophets. He says this orb explains everything. Zek's behavior, the new rules, the Ferengi Benevolence Association. He's not sure. He said, don't just stand there, talk. He can't talk. Rom's knocking on it. He's like, I don't know. We're not certain that there's an orb in there. He's like, maybe Zek's just giving him a box. He says, don't be, they're fighting over it. And they opened it, and now Quark is having an orb experience. Uh-oh. What's the matter, Quark? Spinning out of control. Grand Nagus. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, and that is a terrible special effect. DJ Odyssey says the prophets are evil. Oh, he's looking for the Nagus. He couldn't find them if they were dangling from your lobes. He's like, where's that Quark cleverness? Are you so paralyzed with fear you can't think straight? Answer me, Quark. What are you so nervous about? Don't you think change is worth dying for? All he wants is a little leap of faith. And he jumps off of the promenade. Quark catches the orb. He says, that's the wonderful thing about mysteries. Sometimes the answer is all from the sky. What do you have to lose? Open it. Now he opens the orb within the orb. Everybody's clapping for him. And he says, yes, yes. A gift. The new rules were a gift. No. A gift to Zek. From them. Said they changed them. They did? Who? Who changed them? The prophets, the aliens in the wormhole. Says they did this to him. Uparium servants take a vow only to speak to their masters. So give him a handkerchief or something. He's going to try to break into Zek's personal logs. According to Zek's logs, he caught the orb from one of his contacts on Cardassia 3. They went straight to the wormhole. They entered the wormhole, stayed inside for a few minutes, reversed course, and came here. In his personal log, Zek said the future was looking very bright indeed. Don't you get it? According to Dax, the wormhole aliens can see through time. The Nagus thought he could convince him to see the future, so he could anticipate economic changes throughout the galaxy. But instead, he created new rules of acquisition. Quark said something must have gone terribly wrong, but he's going to set it right. And Rom says, does it involve me? And Quark says, not really. Rom likes that answer. Oh, Odo's first appearance in the episode that he himself is directing. Odo asked to join Dr. Bashir. And Bashir says, what can I do for you? Odo says, it's what I can do for you. He has a friend at Starfleet who has a friend who has a cousin who's married to somebody whose uncle's friend's cousin's former roommate. His wife heard that something on the medical board, Dr. Wade is not going to win the Carrington. Bashir says, not you too. He says, I thought you'd be delighted. He says, even if it's true, the only one to celebrate is Cottrell. He says, perhaps, but Cottrell is not as popular as Dr. Wade. The problem is, if it's not going to be Wade, it could be anyone, even you. He says, I didn't think I was going to win before, and I don't think I'm going to win now. Odo says, if that's a fact, then why have you been working on your acceptance speech? Bashir gets all freaked out and said, how did you know? And Odo says, just a guess. Odo was probably like a flying ant or something and was looking over his shoulder a minute ago. They didn't show that part to us. We never knew solar flares could be so devastating to the planet's agriculture. Said something will cost him 189 bars of gold pressed latinum, but it's worth it. And you're going to have the first shipment on the way. And they're kidnapping the Nagus. Why do they have to sneak around? Oh. The Nagus is just humming away. He says, don't worry, Quark, I forgive you. Do, 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 do. Ram says, this is a very brave thing you're doing. Taking your Nagus into the wormhole. Wish I could come with you, but I can't. And Ram runs away. And Quark tells the other guy to get out of here too, before he starts Quark crying. So Quark tells Nagus, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. The Nagus is just sitting there with this thing over his head and humming. Do. Yes. John DeMarco says Odo has the best rumor game. He does. That looks like R2-D2's head. He takes the cover over the Nagus. The Nagus says, you know I should be very angry with you. But he's not in the slightest. He likes him. Now, where are you taking me? We're going into the wormhole. He said, this is exactly what happened last time he was in there. The wormhole aliens are delightful people, but they like their privacy. He said, so you did meet them. They brought the orb of wisdom with them. That should do the trip. If you really want to get their attention, open the box. That's what he did. Better hurry. He got the dampening field on this ship for a substantial discount. And now he's in the all-white background that we've seen Cisco in many a times. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? It is corporeal. Like, Doctor, what are you doing in here? And Dax is like a physical entity. Kira says, not another one. And he's like, I get it. You're the wormhole aliens. Oh, would you rather be called the prophets? So did the Cisco send you? Cisco? What does he have to do with any of this? And there's Cisco holding the Cisco taught us about corporeal life forms, about linguistic communications and linear time. He's like, yeah, he's quite a guy, but I'm not here to talk about him. Oh, and we hear the servant talk. He's like, then why are you here? You're here to talk about the Nagus, the other Ferengi who visited, the Zek. He came to ask for help. He wanted to know about the future. He said the Zek wanted to know the outcome of the game before it's played. And Quark says, yes. So what went wrong? He's like, at first we didn't understand his request. The Cisco said corporeal beings value their linear existence. The Zek wanted to understand events outside the restrictions of linear time. He wanted to see the future. Yes, Zek can value again how more was preferable to less. They found the concept aggressive, adversarial, dangerous. They could not comprehend how any species could live like that. Quark says it has its advantages. We don't agree. We found his adversarial nature threatening. We examined the totality of your existence. You haven't always been as you are now. There was a time when your people's acquiring nature wasn't so pronounced. You de-evolved the Nagus. We restored the Zek to an earlier, less adversarial existence. Quark says, you can't do that. He's the financial leader of billions of Ferengi. I demand you re-evolve him immediately. They're saying this one's adversarial too, aggressive, intrusive. We should do to this one what we did with the other. Restore him to a pure existence. Contract its adversarial nature. And Quark says, oh, wait, let's not be hasty. That there's nothing wrong with acquiring profit. That's what Zek said. He said, I don't know how you people live, but us corporeal people have things in common. And one of these things is the need to improve ourselves. Our ambition to improve ourselves motivates everything we do. Without ambition, without greed, people would lie around all day doing nothing. They wouldn't work. They wouldn't bathe. They wouldn't even eat. They'd starve to death. Is that what you want? Are you so isolated and detached that you'd sit back and allow the extinction of every corporeal being in the galaxy? He says, your argument is species. Changing the world will not result in the termination of all existence. He said, fine, I exaggerate a little. So we should alter and turn it to its own species. He's like, wait, if you don't want to have any more contact with Ferengi, that's fine with me. But altering me, you'll be encouraging contact. His people are very inquisitive, and if you change me, they're going to want to know what happened, and they're going to come here to find out, just as he came to find out what happened to Zek. He says that's linear and very potential, very annoying. But on the other hand, if you leave him alone and you put the Nagus back to the way he was, he guarantees he'll never have to talk with another Ferengi again. So what do you say? Linguistic communication is tiring. He's like, yep, my point exactly. And so that's why you should send me back. And Quark, the orb experience is over. And Quark says, he's like, just get me out of here, stuff. Oh. It's like, we've got an orb to sell to the Bajorans. And Zek says, I'm going to make him pay through the nose. Speaking of nose, where's his beetle snuff? Quark is hugging him. He's like, oh, you're back. He's like, it's my suit. Quark is so happy. He actually is a hero. He's an unsung hero of the Ferengi. And now it's with great pride. He presents the nominees for the Character Award. April Wade, Sempar Vulcan, Dr. Ari Jose, G. Petrell, and Dr. Julian Bashir. There, they're clapping. The winner is Dr. Anine Roger. Roger. How could they give it to Roger? Next time, Kira said. He said, maybe in 50 years. Rock Solid says, Momo the Vengeful, don't knock anal probing if you haven't tried it. Why do you think Berto Prey likes his shemale so much? That is fake news. That is fake news. Rock Solid says, Berto Prey, what Quark is not a jukebox hero? And Zek says, if anyone asks you, have no idea what happened to the charity money, and you make sure you destroyed every last copy of the revised rules. And Rom says the only place they exist is inside his head. And Zek is like, eh. And Quark steps in front of him and says, don't worry, in a week you'll forget them all. And this Nagus says he better. And his servant pats Quark on the head. He said, after all you did for the Nagus, he didn't even thank you. Quark says he doesn't have to thank me. He's the Nagus. The only thing that bothers him, he would have, he was honored to help the Nagus. It would have been nice if he could have made a little profit. So Rom's like, I made enough profit for the both of us. And Quark's like, what are you talking about? He's like, the Benevolence Association. It was funded with Zek's personal fortune. And Rom embezzled money. He was the senior partner. And Quark's like, Mom would be proud. He embezzled money from the Nagus. Josh Streets is Bird of Prey. Quark set back Zek's reforming the Ferengi by a few years. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but the reformation comes anyway by the end. And I wonder if these rules of acquisition that Rom will remember is going to play into whatever happens to Rom when he does become Grand Nagus. Now, I happen to think that Rom only holds the position for a short time before, I don't know if he gets maybe run out or banished from the Ferengi Alliance. But I have a hard time believing that the other Ferengi, accept Rom's leadership. I have a feeling that once he gets the Ferenginar, he's quickly overthrown and he gets, he's sent to Earth or something and he gets to get to live with Nog or something. Or he gets a little place on Earth since Nog is in Starfleet Academy and actually in Starfleet by that point anyway. And Rom just lives out his days. Him and Lita live it out on Earth. I don't think they ever really return to Ferenginar. Of course, that's my own personal headcanon. I have no way of proving it, but I would guess that would be his ultimate fate. Because I just do not see the Ferengi changing as much as Rom would try to make them change. John DeMarco says, good Ferengiing Rom. Absolutely. And Resolute Germ says Rom definitely had a copy waiting once he took over. See, yeah, but imagine bringing that book up to the Ferengi as we know them. They would be like, this guy is cray-cray. And that would be it. That would be it. They'd chase him and he would know enough that they were going to come after him. He would have an escape plan. Him and Lita would beam to a shuttle and then, take off and head to Earth at Warp 9. Warp 9! Rock Solid is saying, Dear Bop. No, not today. Not today, Rock Solid. Sorry. Resolute says, unfortunately, Rom was backed by Ferengi powers and was a puppet Nagus of the Federation. I don't know. Maybe that could be another possibility. I don't think the Federation really cared that much. I don't think they really cared that much about Nog, about the Ferengi. I think that they didn't really feel that there was anything the Ferengi could do for them anyway. Roxanne says, didn't say hashtag Dear Bop. Roxanne says, Bird of Prey didn't just say hashtag Dear Bop, FYI. Dear Bop, Dear Bop, Dear Bop, on your left, hashtag, oh, no, I'm sorry, on your left, Dear Bop, Dear Bop, Dear Bop, on your left, Dear Bop. Okay, you're right. You're right, Roxanne. You did not say just Dear Bop. Anyway, guys, that is episode 16. Next week, episode 17. And yeah, I think we get some pretty serious episodes coming up. But with that, I think we're going to end the stream. Thank you all for hanging out. Tomorrow, we're going to do some open lines again. Maybe a little earlier in the day if all works out. If depends who's streaming, but maybe I'll aim for like 3 p.m. or something. Little Green Men is a while yet. We have a little more time before Little Green Men. That's going to be a great episode, but I'll be happy once we get there. So what we'll do today is we'll end the stream with the national anthem of Karoga. Qapla all, and take care. Son of a bitch. Nothing. I forgot to put the sound on before I started fighting. The greatest stream.
Sweeter than sugar and fresh than pines. We don't feel We'll tell